Good afternoon, friends. My name is Kapil Rana, and I am the founder of HostBooks Limited. On behalf of entire HostBooks team, I welcome you all in this webinar on technology adoption and digitalization of CA practice. Friends, working from home is compulsion under this COVID-19 threat, and we can do all work related to our practice like online payments, managing tax compliance anytime, anywhere. And that will be the requirement of the future. We at Hostbooks are focused on making accounting and tax compliance seamless for chartered accountant and small businesses through our automated all-in-one accounting application. Today, we have with us CA Manmeet Singh Mehta. He is renowned cybersecurity and information technology expert. CMS Mehta is certified information system auditor from Isaka, USA, as well as like certified fraud examiner from ACFE, USA. He is having more than 30 years experience in this industry. He is my boss. I did my articleship under him. So MS Mehta will be taking over this session. Welcome, sir, and thanks a lot for being with us today. Now over to you.
So, a very good afternoon, friends. Sitting here in my home, perhaps miles away from you, and staring at a screen, and you are all also perhaps in your home or your office again staring at a screen, and still we are all together in a session. That is the new normal. Friends, this session has been planned, for technology adoption and digitalization of CA practice. And I'm thankful to Hostbooks for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. Now, COVID might have brought in social distancing, physical distancing, but on the other hand, if we see, it has created virtual interactions like this one, which was unprecedented in earlier times. So we are able to connect. Remote work will perhaps permanently change the way we work professionally. Friends, brings in opportunities which you cannot conceive in normal times. So something we think unthinkable, we can do at the time of crisis, and this crisis is also bringing out opportunities which you could not think of in normal times. Ja esh sukteshu jagrati. That is the motto of our institute. Which means to be awake when others are asleep. Okay, and friends, true to that, we have to be awake to the crisis which is happening. We have to be awake to the new normal and grasp opportunities which are now. If you look at this research by Gartner, it says 70% of companies plan to permanently shift to more remote work. Okay, that trend is a new normal. And location is irrelevant. Location is irrelevant. We could be anywhere, still we can work. And question is, why work from home or any other location? We can work from anywhere. Now, more important is not work from home or anywhere. More important is, how do we work? And here we got three cornerstones, I think, which are relevant here. One is accessibility. Second is the communication capabilities. And the third one is, a result or some kind of, tracking should be available. So these are three cornerstones which could help in remote work, or you could say work from anywhere rather than work from home. I'll use the term work from anywhere. So you could be anywhere, you could be working. Now, friends, to the work anywhere, we'll need, number one, as I said, is accessibility. Accessibility to resources, okay, accessibility to data, accessibility to internet, and all those kind of criteria. Location is immaterial. Second important thing is to be able to communicate. Okay. Now the third important thing is some kind of tracking which should be available. Is our staff productive? How do we ensure productivity? How do we ensure our own productivity? So some kind of tracking would be required. Now friends, challenging with us all are common. For a typical CA, the challenge is, if you look at the recent times, the usage of technology had simply skyrocketed. Those people who never thought about cloud today are thinking about cloud. Okay, we are thinking about cloud applications, we are thinking about data in the cloud. So all that we could never think of earlier, we are thinking now. Okay. I remember, the first time, because I'm a faculty for the institute, taking all this information system audit and various other sessions. So first time I got call from the institute that let's take the sessions online, and I was scared. I couldn't think of how we could do, some such thing. But now, perhaps on a daily basis, I'm taking one or two sessions. So we have to adapt. And, we chartered accountants have got enough skills to survive. There is no doubt about that. But the only thing is how to prosper, how to give value to your client, how to deliver value to your client and grow. So this, friends, is the time for transformational change. Okay. Now, a general disclaimer: the views, whatever I'm expressing, are my own views and do not represent the views of Hostbooks. And I'll be using some logos of some softwares and some tools. Okay, they belong to the respective companies. Okay, I'm using it only for the educational purpose. So that is the sole purpose, to make you aware, and it's, I'll say, more for educational purposes. Friends, we are talking of this new normal. We'll be talking of work from anywhere. The four pillars we'll require. We'll be talking about various tools to communicate, to collaborate. We'll be talking about how we can digitize our office. And we will be also talking about cloud accounting and compliance with automation, because that, friends, is the new normal. We'll have to adapt. Friends, disruptive forces will always work. And as John Maxwell said, he said, change is inevitable, growth is optional. Now, change is bound to come, friends. Whether we grow or not, that is our choice. Whether we adopt technology and grow, or we remain in our traditional system, choice is entirely ours. And now it is a time when we have to choose to grow more than ever. Okay, the world is changing by the minute. Okay, but change doesn't mean we have to accept the fate. We can change our fate. We can change our mindset. We can adopt new technologies. Now, friends, we chartered accountants have been resistant and adaptive. And let me tell you, a new adaptation is needed now. If we really want to, I'll say, prosper, grow, then a new change is required. Point is, are we ready to change? Now, friends, one thing which is going on quite a lot on WhatsApp and other media is, who led the digital transformation of your company? Was it the CEO, the CTO? But the third option is, right, it is the COVID. What you could not conceive to do in 5 years, probably you'll be doing in 5 days or perhaps 5 weeks, That is the kind of transformative change which this whole thing has. Okay. Now, if I think about the future, perhaps I could take it in a couple of steps. If we think about the next few weeks, what is important is you need to seize the day. You need to confront your mortality. Friends, we are fortunate that we are living. We are really fortunate that we are living. Okay. And now it is time to seize the day. We have to, because when you confront your mortality, you start living. And as Mark Twain said, the fear of death follows from the fear of life. The man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time, right? So we have to live our life. We have to deliver values, okay? We have to dream the kind of practice we have dreamt of, okay? And for the next few months, what we need is, we need to clarify our values, and we need to dream. Now, clarify our values in terms of what do we really want? How do we want to grow? Okay. We want to prosper. For that, do we need, how we deliver value to our clients? The most important things, let me tell you, friends, is we need to provide value to our clients. And in the process, we also prosper and we achieve some kind of satisfaction in our hearts that, yes, I've done the best I could. Friends, as Lao Tzu said, a man with outward courage dares to die. A man with inner courage dares to live. And now we need that inner courage to transform ourselves, to transform our practices, to think about providing value to the clients. In the next few quarters, friends, we have to think about building our dreams. And let me tell you, building your dreams is not a day's job. It takes time. It takes time. You got to sow your seeds. You got to, make them grow. So all that takes time. Okay. You can install a software in a day, but friends, making it operational, implementing it, getting the data for it, developing the mindset on it, making our work processes in line with those software or tools. That is not a day's job. It takes time. And friends, let me tell you, change management is the biggest thing. Even today, you'll go to companies where you'll find SAP has been implemented, and we find people saying, "Sir, wo purana wala badhiya tha." So the change has to come. Okay. So friends, as Wissam said, when you are purposeful and take daily action, more opportunities come into your life. Believe and build more. That's the fact, friends. So it's not only about building a technological office, it is building a mindset with which you can change. You could look for new opportunities, how I can change it, how I can bring on new things. So that is something which is required. Okay. And friends, after those few quarters, for the next few years, live your vision. Build that organization you have dreamed of. Nurture that organization so that you find satisfaction in that, yes, I have built an organization, okay, and you are able to serve many, many, many clients. As Leonardo da Vinci said, as a well spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. Death, friends, ultimately will come. But the thing is, if it is a satisfied death, whatever you dreamed of, if you achieve it, that's what is required, friends. Now, friends, if you talk about work from anywhere, because I won't use the term work from home. Right now it is work from home, but you could work from anywhere. Like many of us are conducting bank audits from the branches, from anywhere. We are doing it, right? So what are the four pillars which are essential to build your work from home or work from anywhere practice? Number one is the technology which you need. You need technology, you need laptops, you need hardware, you need all those kind of things, right? Whatever technology, hardware is needed, you need that. Second pillar is the data. The data has to be accessible from anywhere. Okay. So for that, it could be in cloud, it could be on servers which could be accessed from anywhere. So second important pillar is data which could be accessible from anywhere. The third pillar is connectivity. Internet connectivity, communication capabilities, those are required. Okay. Because you could have the best data, you could have the best things, but if you're not able to connect, if your Wi-Fi is spotty, if it's not able to connect, then all of that goes futile. So the third important pillar is some kind of internet connectivity. It could be through Wi-Fi, through some kind of fiber optics. So whatever, we need connectivity. And the fourth thing is software and tools to enable it all. Okay, so these are the four pillars of work from anywhere, which are essential. If you have these four pillars only, then you can dream of building that grand organization or remote organization you're planning. Now, friends, when we talk of technology adoption, when we talk of transformational change, maybe for our offices, for our practices, there are three things which are required again. Number one is mindset. Number two is skill set. And number three is tool set. You need tools. You need skills to deploy those tools. But above all, you need, foremost I would say, is you need to reset your mindset. Because if the mindset is set, tool sets can be bought, skill sets can be hired. But the main thing is the mindset. Okay, let me tell you, in your organization, the job of digitalization is not of some new person or the techie guy in your office. It is yours. So everybody has to be involved, and more so the person at the top. Because if the person at the top is not aware of technology, he's not conversant with the technology, he doesn't have the will to adopt technology, most likely the things will not fructify the way you want it to be. So the topmost thing which is required is your involvement in the whole thing. Because it is your dream, and to fulfill that dream, you are the most appropriate person to take it forward. So first and foremost, I'll say is reset your mindset. Because if you got the technology mindset, if you want to build those things, then nothing is impossible. As I said, tools can be bought, skills can be hired. It will be good if you also get the skill sets. But in case you don't feel like, then maybe skills can be hired also. But the dream, that architecture, that framework has to be yours. Okay. Now, friends, after you have that mindset to change, the mindset to implement, because in any implementation, 90 to 95% of the effort is in implementation. Just 5% is the tools and technologies. Okay, and most of the time we're just stuck with those that 5%. We're thinking about should we get this tool or that tool. Point is, get a tool, implement it. If you don't feel it is right, change it. What's there in that? So the main is, you're not stuck for life with one tool. If that tool works, fine. Otherwise, shift. It's as simple as that. We have, do you remember, at one time you were using things like WordStar and Lotus, and now you're using Excel. We have changed the tools. So the most important thing is implementation, the mindset to adopt technology. Okay. Now, having said that, let me discuss a few tools with you. Number one is for remote working tools. Today, one thing which is essential has become is the remote working. And in remote work, we have to interact. And one tool which has really skyrocketed is Zoom. And probably we are also doing a session on Zoom. And many of you would be connected to this session on Zoom. So Zoom is one such tool, which again, has simply skyrocketed. It's a beautiful tool, very less friction, easy to use. There has been a lot of scare about security, and yes, perhaps because of the skyrocketing increase, it could have been, but a lot of it is being patched. Even today, if you look at your Zoom application, would have updated to the latest patch of 5.02 or whatever. So the point is, they are looking after security, and the adoption is good. Then you could have Microsoft Teams, which is again a beautiful tool and is being adapted a lot, and then it has got integration with your Word, with your MS Word and Excel and all those kind of things. Skype we have been using since a lot of time. Then we got a nice tool, go-to meetings by Login, and Zoho also has got a Showtime. So I just saw a nice comparison between these tools. Somebody had posted it. Okay, now, according to this comparison, if you look at, then Zoom onboarding is easy. Okay, whereas for Microsoft Teams, it is a bit with some kind of a friction, which is there, right? But slowly, nobody could have thought that these kind of remote tools would expand like anything. So they are not conceived, that kind of volumes. So they are all taking care of how they can expand. Then Google Meet is another good one, you could use. Okay, go-to meetings is again there. And if you look at costs, most of them are free for individual users. And for a small organization, the costs are not much. Okay, the cost for Zoom is something like $14.99, and Microsoft Teams, if you got something like Business Essentials, so just looking at the chat so that if there's something important, I could just get it. Okay, yes, we'll be sharing this presentation with you, because you can take a call then and learn about various things, right? Okay. So Zoom has become very, very popular. Microsoft Teams is another one which is growing in that, and Google Meets again is Google is not going to be left behind. I'm pretty sure of that, and it's come up very soon with. Many of these tools are not expensive. If you go for Microsoft Business Essentials, is available for something like 125 rupees per month. It's hardly anything to pay, right? So these tools are not expensive. So the point is that we have to adopt the technology, and technology is not expensive, let me tell you. Okay. Now, the next thing I'll be talking about is again some chatting tools like Slack is very popular. Okay, Slack is very popular, and there are Chanty is there, and then Fleep is there. These three are very popular in IT communities, and wherever remote working is there, you can interact with them. Okay, they are more like WhatsApp. They are I'll say the business versions or the finer versions of WhatsApp. Okay, so that is there. Now, if you have implemented Microsoft Teams, so Microsoft Teams has got a inbuilt, communication thing. So when you have adopted Microsoft Teams, so you could also go in for its built-in, the chatting facility. So that's again a very good tool you could use. Then Google Hangouts is a good one. And now Zoho is giving Zoho remotely, and within Zoho remotely we got this tool called Click, and with Click also you could build communication capabilities within your own organization. Okay, your staff and maybe some of your clients, and you could even build some kind of groups the way we have in WhatsApp. So these are again all remarkable tools which you can use again to communicate. Okay, and okay. Then friends, a lot of times, our staff is there, he's not understanding how to do the things, or he doesn't know how to use the software, or he's not able to find any option within that. So we got some very good tools for remote access. AnyDesk, I think so a lot of us are using. Okay, then TeamViewer is another one. For personal use, yes, it is free. For enterprise use, it is paid. But for personal use, yes, it is free. Okay, then there is one ME tool, again with which you can connect remotely, and you could, share the screens. You could see their screens. You could help them with various things. So, engagement with staff is also very important when they are working remotely. A lot of times, when they're only talking on phone, so it becomes difficult. So with these kind of remote access tools, you could access their screens. You could give them options. You could even help them. So for remote access, all these three tools are very popular, and again, very good, I'd say. Then friends, when I talked about those three things, one was accessibility, right? And the second was communications. We have talked about communications, okay? The third one is how to track. Because in our offices, we are used to the way tracking is that person is sitting, the whole day he is there, he is not put his head down, then he is working. He is supposed to be working. I don't know he is working or not. He is supposed to be working. That's the way we are used to. Now, but with this new normal, where your staff is remote, he is working from home or someplace else, you don't know where, right? There has to be some tracking mechanism. Okay, so all these are task management tools which are simply wonderful. We got Cordial, okay, which has got perhaps some kind of MOU with ICI also. Then one very good tool with which you can time management is Clockify. With Clockify, you can see how many, what is the time taken for each of the process and assignment by your staff. And Trello is again a very good project management tool. Okay. Then we got these other Simplify Practice, Papilio, then CCH, that firm for professionals. They have their iFirm. Then there is one MyTask and Monday. So many of these are there. You could use any of them. Now, friends, let me tell you one more thing which is very important. When you adopt any of these tools, all of these tools are good. The only thing is adoption and how you implement them and how you have some kind of creativity to use these kind of tools. Okay, you can use all these kind of tools. Now, let me tell you one more benefit which I'm pretty sure you'll get when you deploy these kind of tools is a lot of times, everything which happens in our office is in our heads. We never document the processes. We don't write down everything what is to be done. Okay, so there it becomes very important because when at the end of the day, you want to use something like Trello, then what you'll have to do is you'll have to break your task into small processes. And when you're breaking it down into small processes, you will also become clear of how the job is done. And a lot of times what you'll find is when you look at Clockify and when you time that thing, you'll find that, well, I'm undercharging my client. You could do an ABC analysis, after first you break into processes, you look at their timelines. And second is, when you have clocked everything, when you know how much time has been spent on assignment, Even if you tell your client, this is the time I've spent, this is what I want to bill, I think so. He doesn't have any. I mean, say he'll happily accept it. If not happily, at least he'll be convinced about what he's paying for, or at least he'll be assured about the value he is getting and the value he is giving. So because it's both ways. I always say you give value, you get value. So you give value to your client, you get value. Okay, so both these things are very important. Okay, so now to give value, when you analyze a process, when you analyze a task, when you break it down into small processes, let me tell you, your productivity will shoot up. You understand what processes are important and what processes are not important. It's only when you break it down into processes, you understand those processes. And second thing is, if you have got everything broken down into processes, mapped with checklists and everything, your onboarding of new articles, new staff, whatever you require when your practice expands would be much easier. Today it is difficult to train the people. Why? Because everything is in our heads. We many times we have not documented the whole processes. But when you need to bring it into the technology platforms, then you need to document those processes. And in the process of documentation, your own concept becomes good. You understand the process and you can better present to your clients. So these are some of the tools you could use. You could use Cordial, you could use Clockify. Clockify is good for time management. You can time your assignments, how much time each staff has spent on the assignments. And Trello is a good tracking tool. Okay, and let me tell you on top of that, most of these tools are not at all expensive. They are not at all expensive. Okay, and many of them are free for individual use also and for small usages. Okay, otherwise the costs are not high. See, whatever I tell you during this whole process, if you deploy it all, I don't think so the cost will be very, very high, because most of these tools are, not at all expensive. Okay. And second thing, which I always say is, consider it not as an expense, consider it as an investment. Your investment of technology will give you multiple time dividends, let me tell you. See, there's a wonderful book which had come, sometime back, which is about professions, the future of professions by Mr. Susskind, where he says professions will exist, but not the way they are today, right? So what is imperative is that we adopt technology, okay? Because technology adoption would be imperative if we want to remain relevant in future, right? So the technology adoption is very, very important, because future will belong to technology. That is for sure. But for technology, dreaming would be yours. Technology would only be your slave, I'll say. It would be only an enabler. So you'll have to harness technology. Now, the next is a suite of things which we have. One is Zoho Remotely. If you go to the site Zoho Remotely, okay, it has got a whole slew of tools all built into one. Okay, now if you look at it, Zoho Remotely, to communicate, it has got Click. We already talked about it. It has got Showtime. We already talked about it. Okay, Showtime is more like Zoom. Okay, or you could have web conferencing. It's more like for webinars and this kind of meetings. Okay. Then you got file sharing through WorkDrive. Okay, you could, just like Trello, you could have projects there. Okay, and then Assist works just like your this team viewer, right? So you can share the files, you can manage those things. Okay, then Lens is just like your Google Lens, and you got this, and then Writer Sheet Show are more like your MS Word, MS PowerPoint, and MS Excel and all that. Okay, and on top of that, if you look at Remotely will remain free till 1st of July 2020. Okay, so right now it's free also, right? It's not at all expensive. The main thing is adoption. Okay, point is you have time, you adopt it, you implement it. If you find it works, fine. If it doesn't, so you don't need to pay anything till 1st of July. And if you feel you are getting productivity out of it, you are able to build your whole things out of that, then whatever price I think so would be worth paying. And these tools are not very, very expensive. Let me tell you, the rewards are great. So consider it as an investment, not an expense. Then second one we all know is GSuite. Now, GSuite comes from the stable of Google. So obviously, Google is one of the most used, things we have today. We all have a Gmail accounts and Google Drive and all that. So GSuite is one whole suite which you could help you. Because it would now consist of tools to connect, like your Google Teams you have, Google Hangouts you have, then Google Sheets, Google Docs. So all those documentation facilities are there, and above all, you've got access to Google Drive. Okay, and many of these options are there to control. So GSuite is again a good tool, and right now for the basic use, I think so they are offering it for rupees 125, 125 per month for the basic version, which is good enough, which gives you 30 GB of drive space. Okay, and security in a Google Drive, Google Suite is much better. You are using a normal Gmail. If you shift your Gmail to G Suite, let me tell you, you got a whole lot of options for security. Okay, and then the third one is Microsoft 365. Excel, MS Word, we are all using at all times. Okay, we are all using it. But 365 takes it to a new level. Because 365 is always latest. It is on subscription mechanism, and then the biggest benefit is when you subscribe to 365, you also get access to OneDrive. So OneDrive has got 1 TB of data free. So your Excel, your Word, they all get stored there, and you could also have Google Teams. Let me tell you again, friends. Technology, because I do a lot of Excel sessions, because Excel is one of my passions. Okay, I do a lot of Excel sessions, and many times I'm surprised when I go and see people still using Excel 2007. When we got Excel 2019, we are still using Excel 2007. I mean, say that is way behind. So the kind of productivity enhancement of the boost you could get through Excel 365 is phenomenal, right? And cost is not much. Cost is not much. If you go for the basic family version or the home versions, I think 5 or 6 systems, the cost is something like 5 to 6,000. That is how much? Around 1,000 for one PC for every year. Friends, honestly, more than this we spend in one time we go to a cafe. Okay, so cost is not very high. Cost is not very high, and again I say consider it as an investment, right? And the rewards are great. Now, you could have Microsoft 365, which contains all these kind of things, or you could have it with Teams, or if you want only Teams for collaboration independently, then you can take Microsoft Business Essentials, which is again 125 odd per month. So it's not very expensive. Okay. Shivan says about viability. Friend, viability again is once we start adopting it, the kind of productivity you get and the kind of business you can expand, it will become viable. Okay. Now, friends, I get a lot of people who ask me, sir, is this better, or where should I have my data? Should it be on OneDrive or Google Drive or Dropbox? My question always is, do you really know where your critical data resides? And I ask you this question, do you really know where your business critical data or your professional critical data resides? Do you know the location in your PC? Most of the times, the answer is no. Friends, we could have 1.5 TB of drive full. But if I really talk about a chartered accountant's office, the business critical data for a typical medium and small firms would not be more than 5 to 6 GB. Never more than that, I tell you. Because what is our business critical data? Perhaps some Word files, perhaps some Excel files, perhaps some PDF, some data backups. That's all. What is the rest? Movies, okay, songs, a lot of downloads, okay. And I generally say, VCAs are by nature, I call them Batoriye. In Hindi, we say bator means to collect. We say batoriye because, हम CS को किधर भी जाना है अपने को बटोर के लाना है कुछ. Okay, we go to a seminar, हम background material बटोर के लाते हैं. We go to somewhere, we say, okay, presentation. The point is, how much we use it? That's another question, right? So it is not only with us; it is everywhere across the world, friends. On this, research which has been done by Databug, it says just 14% is the business critical data. Rest of it, lot of it is obsolete data. Okay, I ask you a simple question: how many times does it happen? You go for download, and when you start downloading a document from the internet, it writes that document name, and with the brackets you get 2 or 3 or 4. That means what? You already downloaded it 2-3 times. So my question is, पहले वाला काम नहीं आया तो अब कहाँ से संभाल के रख लोगे? Right? So we need to do a bit of house cleaning also before deploying any of these tools. So this is a good step. This is a good time to do the house cleaning and then go for the, expanding your offices or practices. Okay. Now, friends, when I come to cloud, okay, accessibility, we've got 3 prominent players apart from many others. Okay, for a typical small business, okay, we got OneDrive, which is there. Okay, we got Google Drive, again from the Google stable, and of course Dropbox. Now I said OneDrive, you get 1 TB free if you go with Microsoft 365. Google Drive is another 30 GB you get, with the GSuite. Okay, and Dropbox also is free to some extent, not very expensive tools. Okay, and all of them have got synchronization capabilities. They can synchronize with your PCs. Okay. Now, friends, security, when it becomes very, very important, when we talk of accessibility, when we talk of remote work, when we talk of work from anywhere, security becomes important. Okay, in security, we could have, we'll be needing firewalls, antivirus, okay, we'll anti-spywares, and we'll be needing good practices for security, keeping our passwords safe. Okay, so all these kind of things we'll be needing. Okay, since time is constrained today, 4 p.m. we got addressed by Honorable FM. Okay, so but I'll be giving this presentation so you can explore more. So anytime you can interact with me. Okay, I'll tell the Hostbooks to share my email ID with you. Okay, and when I talk of security, yes, we should keep our passwords secure. But today, if you look at how many passwords we have, probably with that, rather than writing down the passwords, it is better to keep them securely. Many different options are there, like LastPass, we got Bitwarden, we got Dashlane. 2-3 tools which I'll sure like to mention based on my interaction with various chartered accountants. One tool which I'll surely tell you is use Grammarly. Now, Grammarly is a tool to check your grammar. So good presentation makes sense, when you're talking of a professional presentation. So Grammarly, if you start using it, even in your emails, it will not let you make any kind of grammatical errors. Because I've even found when I'm using WhatsApp on web or on my PC, so Grammarly doesn't let me make any grammar mistakes even when I'm writing on WhatsApp. So it's a great tool to have. Use Grammarly. Now, one more tool which I'll say is free file sync. There are plenty of synchronization facilities. A lot of times, we've got data, we need some kind of backup for that. And for backing up, free file sync is a good utility which helps you, sync, okay, your PC with any of the folders. And then also for increasing productivity, let me tell you, we need data analysis tools. How much time are we analyzing data? And if we get a tool which can help us quickly do the analysis, can save lot of time, and could also help us in whenever we are add more value to our clients, I'll say. Okay, and eCat is one such Excel add-in which you can use. Okay, it's a great tool. It does plenty of analysis. Okay, so point is, if you want to increase productivity, the productivity is very important. When you are deploying all this technology, the basic objective is we can increase productivity. We can deliver value to clients. All these tools are surely of great help to you. Okay. Now, one concept, which we all talk about is digitization. Digitization is typically what we think of. We got a paper, we convert it into PDF with some kind of a scanner or something. But friends, we need to move from digitization to automation. When we talk of automation, it is how we take the things along. It doesn't need to be PDF. It needs to be at the time of capture. Why can't we take the data to our account books and other places? So we have to think about automation. Okay. Friends, at the recent World Economic Forum in Davos, okay, Yuval Noah Harari, who is one of the historian, has brought out that wonderful book called *Sapiens*. So while addressing, what he said was, whereas in the past human had to struggle against exploitation, in the 21st century the real big struggle will be against irrelevance, and it is much worse to be irrelevant than exploited. What he said is, friends, very very true. Tomorrow, just think of when the machines come, when artificial intelligence comes, a lot of whatever we do will become irrelevant. So we need to change, but at the same time, we need to make technology our slave. We need to harness technology. Now, when I talk of accounting, we got some very, great tools you could use again to automate your accounting things. Okay, like we got Perfios. It's again an Indian company, but mainly deals with bank statements. Your bank statements automatically it downloads, it correlates, build some kind of portfolio. All those kind of things are there. Then Find My Invoice is another application which you can add to your Google account also. So whenever automatically captures data out of that. And file is another great utility for automatic capturing of data from various documents. Uh, but we need to go further. We need tools which can automate our accounting as well as compliance. Okay, QuickBooks is an international company; it's a global company, right? Which offers many of these facilities. But there is one Indian company which is Hostbooks, which provides you with a lot of accounting as well as compliance solutions. Why do you need to download the balance sheet and make each entry? Okay, why not use a tool like Hostbooks, where it automatically downloads your bank statements and classifies them according to the name, according to the expenditure. Your 90% entries are repetitive, right? So it automatically handles it. Your GST compliance, your tax compliance becomes much, much easier. Explore these tools, deploy these tools. I just want to end with this small clip, which was a beautiful clip I saw somewhere. Okay, it's an advertisement of Kuka Roberts, but this is something to ponder about, to think about. Make technology. Technology can never override you. Man will always outshine. Just a small clip, and I'll be through. Friends, that is where man can win over machines. Okay, man will always be a master. So be master of technology in your office and take it forward. And you can grow, you can prosper in these trying times also. So I believe you all got some value out of this whole presentation of around 40 to 45 minutes. Okay, and I'm thankful to Hostbooks, especially Kapil, who's been an article under me long time back. But he's grown a lot, and this wonderful, organization he has built again to help chartered accountants. So that's all from me. So on to Kapil and his team. Thank you, Kapil. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time. And now I would like to ask Biswajit. I would like ask
Hello.
Biswajit to take over the session and tell about the Hostbook special feature, especially for chartered accountants. Yeah, Biswajit.
Sir, namaskar. Thank you. Thanks for your time and blessings. So Hostbook would be always proud that your Hostbook is associated with you. So Hostbooks is a platform which is based in cloud and services to the customers in India and USA. It is a cloud-based platform. It comprises of all type of compliance and accounting within itself. So I'll just give few glimpses how Hostbook works. We'll have a detailed demo once we have a next webinar. So I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, so this is the single sign-in dashboard. So for professionals, this dashboard, how it helps that you can manage all your clients, all your business from this dashboard. So you can create multiple businesses, you can create multiple users, you can manage multiple business and multiple type of clients from this platform. So from here you can see the status of each client and how, till up to what time their GST return has been filed, the income tax return has been filed. If you want a detailed report, you can download the report and see how this is being working. Can you show that? So it is real-time refreshing and it will give an updated status that for this company, this has been the status till now. Then moving to the user management tool. So you can manage your users and your clients access from here. That means that you can do audit from this platform for your clients. You can do as a client assignments from this platform as a user or as a super user, and this will help you in saving your time, cost, and dependence on the data location and device dependency. Then we are offering 10 GB of free cloud space for our users, so you can keep all your important data like any agreement, any challan, any PAN number, any GST return, anything you want to save, you can save here on the cloud, and you can access it from anywhere, anytime, at any point of time. Whatever you are doing, we are capturing that log for your safety and security purpose. So if you want to see that, you can have a look at log whenever, if anyone has access to your account, you can see. If your users are being used this account, you can see also that your user is being using this account for some other places. So you can have a better control and a better user access from this platform. Moving, so can you just move to accounting application? So this is our accounting application. This is a fully integrated and automated platform. This is the activity dashboard. You can see what are activities being happened in this account. It will have a detailed view of the snippet of what is happening in this business. So one of the key feature of this application is that it automates the bank reconciliation and bank entry process. So let's say if you have any bank account, you can directly link this bank account with your account. Just so that how you are linking, how you'll be able to link that bank account. So you can search any bank. All banks across the globe, they are being registered over here. You can access any bank. You can log into any bank from here. So the password and the user IDs are being kept safe. And this service provider is a global service provider, and all the credentials which are being used here, they are purely safe. And that is only with bank only. We are not saving any data of that bank. Move back. So once you connect, you can import all your banking transaction on a single click, and from there you can do your reconciliation, you can do your data posting, everything you can do. Also, you can import your bank statement, uh, and you can do your reconciliation very quickly. Just import that bank statement. So I've imported a whole lot of bank statement over here. Go to the reconciliation. So from here you can do the reconciliation. You can find the transaction, and you just, if even transaction has been posted over here, it will show. So here it is showing that this is a transaction which is reconciled automatically. So you are using advanced level artificial intelligence in this process, so that it does the reconciliation. It does the reconciliation automatically, and it suggests also what differences are there if you want to do it. There is another way of posting your entries also. Go to cascading and do the quick posting. So there's a time shortage. I'm just rushing out to show the few good features which will help us. Just post it quickly. So by doing this, your entry has been posted and the reconciliation is done. So single entry, it has been, it is doing both things. Then just go to quick sales import. Import, just import those quickly. So I'm just showing that how once data is being created, it can be used for multiple purpose. I have imported some sales invoice here. So now I am moving this sales invoice to GST filing. It's a single click. There's nothing. I am not doing anything. So these invoices has been posted in GST. From here, I can do my reconciliation. Sorry, I can do my return filing and everything. Can you show that quick GST two-way reconciliation? So you can fetch your data for any period, anything, and the system will do auto reconciliation. And there would be multiple suggestions which will be coming out. Based on the suggestions, you can take the decisions. And you can also download the whole reconciliation in Excel format. For professionals, we are also giving 9C, 9A, all types of returns. You can do the whole set of returns over here. So full setup 9C return. So this is a quick snippet of what Hostbook does. So this is an all-in-one application. Like I said, accounting, GST, TDS, EUA bill, income tax, everything in one platter for professionals. It is quick, efficient, and cost effective. it reduces your pain and it automates the process. So someone is asking how to do vendor payment. Go and do a quick vendor payment, bulk payment. Yeah. So there are multiple options to do a vendor payment. You can do bill payment. You can do through direct payment also. Select anything and you just process it from here. So it is being posted. Mankira, just go to any sales invoice. So as a professional, just open it. As a professional, we need that our hard copy, the original invoice has to be kept at its well. So we need it at every time. So what Hostbook does that while you creating the document, you can take a photo of that and upload here. So this will be there for lifelong with you. So just upload any document. You can upload any document, edit and upload. Just do edit. And you can upload this document. So any sales invoice, any document which you want to be associated with your transaction voucher, you can do that upload and it will be linked to that document. And you can view it at any point of time, anytime. And this is also in cloud and the safest place. Okay, I think Finance Minister has started her presentation. So thank you. So next time, next webinar, we'll have a detailed product demo about Hostbook, the capability of Hostbook, how it solves the problem for MSME and professionals. Also, how we are enabling the digital adoption in all the sectors, in all parameters. We would be kind of a local brand which want to be a global brand, and we want all your blessings and assistance so that we can grow, and we want that you all should be a part of our growth story. Any suggestion, anything which you want to give us, so you can write us at connect@hostbooks.com. Thank you. Yeah, vocal about local. Thanks. Okay. So thank you.
Yeah,
Signing
thank
off.
you, Vishjit. Yeah, thank you, Vishjit. Thank you, MS Mehta ji. And thank you all the participants. Now we should be waiting for the finance minister, like second teleconferencing. So thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mehta sir.